Let me see if I remember how to do this. We should be back in the building. Y'all know what to do. Let me know if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. Let me double check and make sure we're good. I know it's been a minute. It's been like a whole 24 hours since we've been up here. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hopefully y'all are doing well on this Christmas day. It's good to see everybody that's in the building. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for showing support, even though I know most of you are probably out celebrating Christmas or just enjoying your day off. But thank you to everyone who showed up. So good to see y'all, and welcome back to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the ClassE Morning Show. I'm your host ClassE at patreon.com/ClassEbeats. By the way, the link is in the description as well as in the pinned comments in the chat. And today we got a quick show for y'all. We got a lot to get into. We're talking about Candace Owens, Kelsey Fitzsimmons, and of course we got other stories for y'all as well, so make sure you tune in. But before I get into it, I've got to say what's up to the people, man. It's dope to see so many of y'all in here on Christmas. Of course, I have to give a shout out to my beautiful, awesome, amazing Amy E is in here doing what she does, and that's be amazing. Thank you for being here, Amy. I appreciate you. A Fitz is in the building. Shout out to A Fitz. We got my guy, Les Cleaver, in the building. One of the hardest working guys I know, forced to take a week off because he deserved it and earned it. Shout out to, oh, who is that? Is it Miss Michonne? Good to see you in here as well. I appreciate every single one of y'all stopping by this morning / afternoon. So again, if you're here, y'all know I do not ask for much on this channel, but the one thing I do ask is that you all like the video on your way in. Likes are free, helps the channel continue to grow, lets the algorithm know y'all are enjoying the show, shares the video, the channel, and this specific live stream with more people. So thank you to the 300 plus of y'all that have liked the video so far. We haven't even started. Y'all already liking the video. I appreciate it. Helps us out a lot. Also, if you're feeling extra generous, you can share the video out as well. Just click the share button. It's got an arrow that's curved pointing to the right that allows you to share the video to Facebook, Instagram, X, anywhere you're on social media. You can also share it to your group chat via text message. You can send an individual text message. So it's a good time. Make sure if y'all do that. I see so many of y'all sharing the video over on X and other places. So thank y'all for the love. Also, I will be reading super chats as we go throughout the show as well. So thank you to everyone who goes the extra mile, sends in super chats. We don't ask for super chats on the channel, but so many of y'all show love and go the extra mile by dropping the super chats in there, which I will be reading here shortly. We actually got one over on the Cash App. Let me make sure I pull this up. Shout out to, where did I see it? Shout out to Rhonda, voice of reason over there. Always showing love. Dropped the 10 bomb and said, Merry Christmas. Just showing love. Thank you for the support, Rhonda, over on the Cash App. Thank you. Thank you. My guy, CG Beats, is in the building too. Says Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well, brother, to you and your family. Hope y'all have a great time and enjoy each other's company as well. What are y'all getting into? Let me know what y'all are getting into on this Christmas day. I'm surprised so many of y'all are in here. It's good to see every single one of y'all, and thank you to everybody that shared out the video too. Again, this is going to be one of the quicker shows, but I'm glad we were able to do it. Got a lot of things planned this afternoon, I'm sure, as many of y'all do. Had a lot of things going on yesterday, so it's good. It's good to be here with y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. We're going to go right into the content and talk about Candace Owens. Now, since Candace Owens had this meeting with Erica Kirk back on the 15th, which was last week, there's been a lot of back and forth and a lot of fact checking. We even mentioned here, I wanted to keep an eye on and thought it would be interesting to see somewhat of the change of direction or change of tune when it comes to Candace investigation. Now, we have seen some of that, not too much of it, and she still seems like she's not afraid to point the fingers at Turning Point USA and even mention a couple things Erica's involved in that might be interesting, specifically when it comes to the planes, even more specifically when it comes to this interview that Candace Owens did, interviewing a gentleman named Mitch Snow. And he said he was apprised to or stumbled upon a secret meeting that took place a couple of days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Now, with that being said, there's been some debate on whether this guy Mitch was actually legitimate, what was going on there. And we're even looking at, and we're hearing about some of the planes that were being tracked, and maybe there's incorrect information. So we're going to get into that here. I want to know y'all's thoughts on if things are adding up, if something was missed, and then we're actually going to hear from Candace Owens. We'll hear from Alex Jones, and we'll break down what's going on in this situation. So shout out to the person who posted this over on X. Says 1 week ago, Candace Owens told her audience she would release proof that the Egyptian planes were tracking Erica Kirk. Yesterday, and this was on the 22nd, it came out that 60% of the flight logs were cited, or she cited, weren't just inaccurate. They placed planes on literal wrong continent. Okay, we're going to get into that. I don't believe that's entirely true, and we're going to see why here in a second.
I want to add, of course, I was locked in this meeting when people online were another round of debunking the Egyptian planes. I want to be very clear. We discussed the Egyptian planes, and I have since worked on an incredible document about the Egyptian planes, which we are going to put up on our website, because I realized that when we shared that spreadsheet, people assumed that one of the columns, which was actually saying where the planes landed on that day, because it was plus or minus 3 days, was exactly where Erica had been on that day, and that was inaccurate. And so for clarity, I had been working on the last week on turning it into an interactive timeline that we can put up on our website, because I'm certain that these Egyptian planes are incredibly shady and that they were in fact tracking Turning Point USA Faith broader events. Of course, Erica was at some of them, Charlie was at some of them, but it is the pattern here is undeniable. So let the naysayers and people make videos trying to, fifth round debunk these planes.
Yeah, and not only are they trying to debunk them, but you've got a lot of information of how they were being tracked, what was being tracked, where the planes were, why the planes moved the way that they move. So we're still finding out a lot of that information too.
So let the naysayers and people make videos trying to, fifth round debunk these planes. I also want to say to you that I feel very confident that I know why these planes have caused such panic. And it is because there is overwhelming evidence that these planes regularly fly in and out of Israel. And I'm going to present that evidence tomorrow. I say that strongly. This is I feel very confident saying these Egyptian planes are flying in and out. And notice I'm saying planes because once I was able to connect people that were on those planes onto other Egyptian planes, I was able to realize that these planes are flying in and out of Israel and turning their transponder off each time that they do it. That is now makes perfect sense of why there was this mass panic, right? It's not exactly like we have a strong Egyptian lobby in the United States. Not like we're like, whoa, well, those darn Egyptians again are trying to get TikTok censored. I mean, every person in the game, Barry, acting. Well, these are the usual suspects that act if something is a threat to Israel, okay?
Sure.
Which is, they should have just been forthcoming, pretended that it was changing apart. Instead, they're trying to gaslight us, and they're actually, frankly, just pissing me off. So I became locked in on these Egyptian planes because that's how I am, okay? You keep pushing me and keep pushing me, I will become an expert on these planes. I'll learn how to build an Egyptian plane. And the reality is, like I said, tomorrow I will show you how these planes tie back to Israel.
Okay, so eventually Candace went on to show that information, and then we have a literal breakdown of what happened here. And we're also going to hear from Alex Jones saying that he's got information that this is incorrect. So the reason that this is important is because of Turning Point's head of security, who's going to be mentioned here. So keep that in mind. It says Candace Owens was right about the Egyptian planes tracking Erica Kirk regularly flying into Israel. Flight logs prove that connection. The mystery of the suspicious Egyptian planes, and then they named them there, is finally solved. While official logs list these flights as Cairo to Cairo, the truth now is something else. When these planes disappear off of radar, quote unquote, they are making documented trips to Israel. They are the exact aircrafts implicated in the assassination of Charlie Kirk and have reportedly been used to track Erica Kirk for years, which is something Candace Owens alluded to. These logs are proof that Candace Owens Candace Owens claims existed regarding the plane's regular travel to Israel. Here are the full breakdown of the planes. I'm not going to bore you guys with this information, but also we can hear from Candace Owens herself when she commented on this.
And it is,
here we go.
I feel very confident that I know why these planes have caused such panic. And it is because there is overwhelming evidence that these planes regularly fly in and out of Israel. And I'm going to present that evidence tomorrow. I say that strongly. This is I feel very confident saying these Egyptian planes are flying in and out. And notice I'm saying planes because once I was able to connect people that were on those planes onto other Egyptian planes.
And one of those people being the head of security.
I was able to realize that these planes are flying in and out of Israel and turning their transponder off each time that they do it. That is now
Wild.
makes perfect sense of why there was this mass panic, right? It's not exactly like we have a strong Egyptian lobby in the United States. Not like we're like, whoa, well, those darn Egyptians again are trying to get TikTok censored. I mean, every person in the game, Barry, acting. Well, these are the usual suspects that act if something is a threat to Israel, okay? Which is, they should have just been forthcoming, pretended that it was changing apart. Instead, they're trying to gaslight us, and they're actually, frankly, just pissing me off. So I became locked in.
And then lastly, we've got this, which is interesting, from Alex Jones. Now check this out, and we'll see how it's tied into the planes here in a minute. Has Brian Harpole debunked the Fort H, because I'm going to say it wrong. Y'all tried to help me pronounce this. I'm going to mess it up. Achua, I believe is pronounced, allegations? No. That meeting that took place that Mitch Snow said he stumbled upon is a serious allegation. But tissue paper thin, and it says, I need to see a serious receipts before I believe it. Having said that, Brian Harpole did not alibi. He proved and provided purchase receipts or a flight on September 7th at night and September 9th in the afternoon, respectively, meaning he could have been there. But the allegation is that he was in Fort H leaving an early morning meeting on September 9th at 7:30 a.m. Flight 1, he arrived in Dallas from LA early morning on September 8th. That could have left him plenty of time to get to Fort H anytime later that day in order to be an early morning meeting on September 9th, which is the meeting that allegedly Mitch Snow just stumbled upon. Flight 2, he departed Dallas at 1:42 p.m. on September 9th. He could have been in Arizona in the morning for an alleged meeting that ended at 7:30 a.m. and then arrived back in Dallas in time to catch his afternoon flight. Now, this person says, I'm not saying that this is what happened. I'm not saying he went. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not even saying I believe he might be guilty. What he is saying is that he hasn't actually debunked anything or even proven a real alibi. There's been a serious allegation made, and receipts he provided don't actually debunk it. They leave an open, nice and tidy window where he actually could have been at the meeting. See the problem here? And then again, we have more flights here, and they show the information. They show the breakdown. Brian Harpole responded, and then Alex Jones had this to say about the whole situation.
And I was already talking to TP USA last week about this story, and they said, listen, we know where all our people were, including the head of security, and he wasn't even in Arizona when this happened. We'll send you the information. And so I got the information. And then last night, the head of security separately, because I was talking to other people at TP USA, Brian Harpole sent me his information, his receipt buying the tickets on the 7th, him then using the tickets to leave from Dallas out to Salt Lake City ahead of the event the next day with Charlie Kirk. And the times he's in the air are the times that they are saying he was at this base where they think the assassination was being planned in Arizona. So just absolutely wild info. And the reason I held off on this information last week is I didn't want to get in a fight with Candace. And they were going to be meeting on Monday, they told me, but to keep that in confidence in Tennessee. And so they were going to present her this information, other information, and hope they could just diffuse all this because they don't want to fight with Candace.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to fight with Candace at this point. I don't have anything to fight with Candace about, and I don't want to fight with Candace. But it'll be interesting to hear her take on this, because this is something that's been brought to light over the last couple of days. And Alex Jones, it seems like he's really starting to go against what Candace Owens was saying in specifically in reference to this investigation. But we'll have to wait and see how this turns out. I know with the holidays and everything, we're probably not going to hear about it, but I want to see how all of this matches up, especially with the planes and the flight logs surrounding and tracking Erica Kirk. There's no coincidences, in my opinion, and there has to be something there. I want to know what y'all think about this in the comments and in the chat. We've got over 500 of y'all in the building. Oh my gosh. On Christmas? That's crazy. 600 of y'all are in here. Shout out to the gang. Thank you to over the half of you that have liked the video as well. I appreciate y'all. Also, let me see. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat too. Says Ian has learned more about these planes and others after paying for that very expensive matching program. Oh yeah, and we watched in real time a very shady plane change call in 5 times from Syria. It's all looking weird. I'll look at the reservation, not a boarding pass. Yeah, this is all crazy. Thank y'all for being here, man. Shout out to everybody who's in the building. We got Samson in here. Tell Ray Merry Christmas. I wish I could have given him a bone or something for Merry Christmas, but shout out to Ray. Tell him I said he's a good boy. Thank you for being here. That beautiful dog. Look at Ray, man. Gorgeous. And oh, I see there's a bunch of y'all in here too saying Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. Had to come say hello before the grandkids come. Have a blessed one. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, Monterisa. Thank you for everybody stopping by. All right, let's go ahead and get into this next one. We've been talking about this case, which is, I think, going to be a very, very interesting case to follow. And I'll be definitely looking forward to once this goes to trial. And we're talking about Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Let me see if I can find her picture up here, and then we'll actually get into what happened. So we recently reviewed a motion that was filed by Kelsey Fitzsimmons and her attorneys, and they were asking that she be free. They were asking that she be released. She needed to get out of jail. And one of the things we talked about when we first covered this in the last videos is that it was weird to see that she was arrested in the first place, specifically because with Kelsey, she apparently or allegedly got into this back and forth with police, but there was no videos at her home. There was no body camera footage. There was no footage from the cruisers. I mean, pretty much nothing here. You basically had Kelsey's word, which she's a police officer, versus another police officer's word saying that Kelsey either pulled a gun or she had a gun and didn't tell them, and they were coming to serve her this TRO, and they're alleging that she pulled the gun and tried to shoot one of them. Then the officer pulled his gun and shot her in the chest, which is crazy that she survived that, right? So that's what they're saying happened. Kelsey's saying that's not what happened. I didn't try and pull a gun. They knew I had a gun. And in my opinion, if she was trying to shoot them as a trained police officer herself, it seems like it would have been done, unless she was just moving that slow. But either way, Kelsey is now going to be out of jail. I want to know what y'all's thoughts are on this, because it seems like a lot of people are torn on the Kelsey Fitzsimmons situations, somewhat similar to Karen Reed. We're going to be following this. Check this out, what happened when she got to hear from the court, and she's apparently spending Christmas with her family today. Check it out.
Now, Kelsey Fitzsimmons is expected to walk out the doors of that courthouse and go home to her mother's house. Now, before the judge released her, she made her perform an alcohol test, and she did it successfully. Fitzsimmons is a North Andover police officer who was shot by a fellow officer last year. Her injuries had prevented her, according to her lawyers, from breathing into a device, a condition of her release. But now her lawyers say she's healed enough that she can pass this breathing test. Here's a bit of the hearing from today.
Which is insane that, I mean, has she been sitting in jail because she couldn't pass a breathing test because she was shot in the chest? Wouldn't that be something? It's like, well, we got to put you in jail.
Done the medical homework, if you will, and Ms. Fitzsimmons is able to muster the appropriate amount of oxygen or deep breath, and she can comply with the terms that the court has requested.
Not that I don't want to see.
And her lawyers are now holding a news conference. Let's listen in.
We thought we'd come down and give you our statements, and she'll be down and talk to you. She is getting out. We want to make that clear. Just briefly, you know, this has been a very long and strange pretrial odyssey in this case. It's not over yet. We still have a lot of work to do. But we're delighted today that Kelsey Fitzsimmons is going home for Christmas, New Year's, and beyond with her family. It's been a long time coming. She's delighted. You'll get to hear from her shortly. You know, we are confident as we get ready for trial now that we will have all the facts before a jury. We trust a jury to sort this out. And we are also confident that in that process, many of the facts that have been before the court to date, which have been unrebutted, which we do not believe are accurate, will come out. And we believe that Kelsey Fitzsimmons will be confirmed to be innocent.
And I agree. I mean, this whole situation is weird. To be honest, Kelsey is lucky to be alive. Can you imagine just being shot in the chest like that and surviving? I mean, why did this go down this way in the first place? And again, we don't have any information other than the police officer's word, which, I mean, in this area, is that something that we can really trust? I don't know about that. I think a jury is going to see this in Kelsey's favor, unless there's some evidence that we haven't seen yet and that the defense isn't telling us is there that implicates her in this situation. I definitely don't think she should have been shot. I mean, why in the world did he not have a taser? Weren't there multiple officers at this time responding to or serving her this information? They didn't need to use lethal force in this case. And honestly, I hope this officer is going to be placed on some type of leave because he shouldn't be there.
As she is now. So we're delighted to work with her, to represent her, and thank you for your coverage of this, and you will hear from her shortly.
What are some of the facts that you would rebut?
So without going into the material facts, you'll note that in the SJC decision, the court relied upon, as they're entitled to do, they get great discretion, but the SJC said that, an affidavit, for instance, that's filed in another jurisdiction that's unrebutted, unanswered, was the basis for some of the court's determinations early on. Some prior records.
Martha Coakley there representing Kelsey Fitzsimmons, talking about how her client will be released on bail at this point. She's charged with assault with a dangerous weapon, accused of pointing her gun at another officer in June. Her lawyers say she was suffering from postpartum depression and described it as a half-hearted attempt to take her own life. Our Sharman Saketi is following this story, and we will check in with her in a bit.
So it's interesting that the defense is not saying it didn't happen, which is kind of where we're at. The defense is saying that maybe she was going to take her own life. Maybe the reason that she pulled the gun was because she was going to harm herself. Again, I think it's interesting that the police officer used that type of force. She was in her home, allegedly. It's just a weird situation. So let's hear what Kelsey had to say.
Now, breaking news.
We are back with this breaking news we've been telling you about today. A North Andover police officer who's been locked up since September has learned she'll get to spend the holidays at home. That was the judge's decision after lawyers for Kelsey Fitzsimmons made a last-ditch effort in court to get her out. NBC 10's Mary Marcos joins us live from Salem with a closer look at the decision. Mary?
Well, Amelia, today was the last day for hearings in court before Christmas. And after missing Thanksgiving and birthdays, Kelsey Fitzsimmons gets to spend it with most of her family.
How are you, Kelsey?
After 3 months behind bars, Kelsey Fitzsimmons is going home for the holidays.
It's everything I've wished for these past few months. All I wanted to do was be home with my family for Christmas.
It all started with a June confrontation at her home in North Andover. Her colleagues on the police department were serving her a restraining order, telling her that her former fiance was taking custody of their baby. Police say she pointed a gun at them, but she says she pointed it at herself, and that's when an officer shot her.
Many of the facts that have been before the court to date, which have been unrebutted, which we do not believe are accurate, will come out.
Fitzsimmons pleaded not guilty, and her lawyers say she suffers from postpartum depression.
I just have full faith in the justice system, and it's going to be good when the truth comes out.
Her release was revoked earlier this fall because it was too painful to take a breathalyzer test with her lung injuries. In court today, her attorney says she's been breathing better for a month and urged the judge to release her.
We had her visit with the institution nurse and a couple of times, and we're confident that she's able to do it.
The judge questioned why that wasn't raised sooner.
And here we are 3 months later, which is about 103 days total, Ms. Fitzsimmons been in custody. The court would have been open to hearing this type of information at any time.
After a home check and a breath test, Fitzsimmons was released to 24/7 house arrest at her mother's with strict alcohol testing, mental health treatment, and no contact with her baby.
Hopefully they keep all the weapons away from her too, respectfully.
Fitzsimmons is fighting a separate battle in probate court for contact with her son. Her next hearing in this case is in January, and the trial is set to begin in February. Live in Salem, Mary Marcos, NBC 10 Boston.
Yeah, and it's sad because, as we know, her son, I think we said, is 10 months old at this point. So she might not even get to see him for his birthday. She gets to spend Christmas out of jail with her family. I don't know how she managed or how well she managed herself while in custody as a police officer, but seemingly it went okay. So we're going to talk about bail here in a second. This entire situation is just strange, in my opinion, because the way this was done, the judge implying that a lot of information was missed initially. What's the bail going to look like?
We have a live breaking update here. Kelsey Fitzsimmons is about to speak live. Let's go ahead and listen in.
Okay. Kind of need that joke at the end. It's kind of obvious.
Whatever. Sushi.
And she's got.
Can you describe what it's like to? I mean, you've been spending the last several months behind bars, and to know that a couple days before Christmas, you're now going to be going into your mom's house. Can you tell people what that's like for you?
It's everything I've wished for these past few months. All I wanted to do was be home with my family for Christmas, so that's all I wished for.
Kelsey, you may not be able to comment on this, but how did you feel like being in front of the same judge that revoked your bail?
So we're going to leave that in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, we're looking ahead. And we're confident we're looking ahead, and I think that's it for questions.
You've been behind bars for over 100 days. Can you talk about if this is just a long time coming? Did you think you should have been out a lot sooner?
Well, we made our position clear. You know, we wanted to prosecute it all the way to the SJC, which we did. And, you know, Kelsey healed up enough so that she can comply with the court's terms. So here we are, and we're looking ahead, and we can't wait to get this to a jury.
And thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Great job,
Okay, you're just listening in.
Yeah, again, with the postpartum, everything that was going on, her history, it's going to be interesting to see how a jury takes all of these facts into account, because she did have a history of being violent against her ex. Allegedly, according to her ex and the TRO, she had said she was going to harm herself and harm their son. A lot going on here, but what the evidence will show, I think, is going to be very important in this case. The fact that there's no body camera footage, there's no footage at the house, I think that's going to be an issue with getting a guilty verdict for the jury. And y'all know we believe innocent until proven guilty here on the channel anyway. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments and in the chat. Still over 600 of y'all in the building. My goodness. Y'all be showing some love, man. Shout out to Mixed Love in here, has been a member for 10 months. Wow. Says Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Mixed Love. Enjoy the time with the family. Tell Mimi what's up. Hopefully she's doing well. And thank you for stopping by and saying hey as well. I appreciate you. Thanks for being a member for 10 months too. Any of y'all that are members, make sure you check out the members only content. You also get instant access to all the videos that we post here on the channel. You don't have to wait until they're published, and you get custom emojis, your name's highlighted in that beautiful green in the chat as well. CPE's in the building too, says she doesn't inspire law enforcement professionals. To me, it's tough. It's tough. Y'all had a lot to say about this one too. She's suffering from postpartum, clearly. Mixed Love said, thank you. Hope you have a great Christmas. Same to you. Unfortunately, our court system is set up to believe allegations as the driver when you are presumed innocent until proven guilty. But yeah, we know how our justice system isn't fair. Yeah. I mean, oh man, I hate to go this route, but we've seen what's been said by the public about Tyler Robinson. But we really haven't. Guys, have we seen any legitimate evidence with Tyler Robinson that he's actually the one who shot Charlie Kirk? Can we be real for a second? But everybody and their mama at Turning Point USA, Andrew Kovic, Blake Neff, Erica Kirk, Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, obviously, the Governor Cox of Utah, everybody is so sure that Tyler Robinson is the one who shot Charlie Kirk. So I guess innocent until proven guilty is is just, I don't know. It's only for people that you like. If you don't like them, then they're guilty until they're proven innocent. The truth will come to light, but when it does, Kelsey has lost her home, likely her career in law enforcement, 18 more years of battling this, her ex, and imagine her mental state now. Yeah, I mean, again, it's tough. Brooklyn says, yes, we have seen evidence that Tyler Robinson, I haven't seen any. I've seen some pictures. I heard a story about him turning himself into the police. That's not really evidence. I've heard from the FBI that there were some text messages on a server somewhere, and he left a handwritten note to his roommate / boyfriend / girlfriend. I mean, come on. All we have is stories. We literally have Candace Owens has her stories. The FBI will have their stories. Obviously, we're not supposed to try this case in the court of public opinion, but I have yet to see any legitimate evidence. We haven't even heard from the family on whether that was Tyler's gun or not. Who had the gun? Was that a clear picture of Tyler? I mean, it's just, yeah, I agree. We got to wait from the trial, but that's my point. Innocent until proven guilty. We can't say on one hand, oh yeah, Tyler is guilty. He's the one who did it for sure. And then on the other hand, say, let's wait for trial. He's innocent until proven guilty. I know Erica probably doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. I've seen a guy with sunglasses, the black hat, the black t-shirt jumping off of a building. God, I hope I'm never convicted based on that type of evidence. Justin also pulled some ish with grandparents' rights and waited till right before this release to file. They lied. Her dad is her stepdad. They said he was the father. Throw it all out. Interesting. Yeah, we'll wait for the trial on that one. And I've got one more thing I want to talk to y'all about that's a little bit local. I'll read a couple more comments and we'll get into it. This one is interesting, and a lot of people I think have forgot about this case. And this is going to be one of the first times we talk about it here. We'll get into it here in a second. Shout out to Jacqueline Brennan in the building with the 2 bomb says, if he's innocent, his lawyers will have to prove it. No, God, come on, Jacqueline. No, thank you for this $2 super chat. That's not how this works. Although I get what you're saying. Technically, legally, the burden of proof is on the state, right? The defense doesn't have to prove anything. We have the presumption of innocence. But if you're talking about something I've said, something I've mentioned, being in Utah, being the nature of the crime, being the person who was assassinated, is going to be an uphill battle for the defense. So I think I see what you're saying there. If he's innocent, his lawyers, his defense attorneys have a tough job because, I mean, you want to talk about tainting the jury pool. You're in Utah. This is a gun violence crime. One of the most brutal assassinations we've seen in, as far as I can remember. I agree, but dang, I mean, as a matter of fact, and even as a standard of law, the burden of proof is supposed to be on the state. And again, I know we have so much we haven't seen when it comes to Tyler Robinson, but I want to see how this case is going to be presented, because the stuff we're hearing so far, just as someone who would be a potential juror, I'm not buying it. The text messages, the way Tyler was allegedly texting, the note that he left, a lot of this just doesn't make sense. I mean, take how you feel about Charlie Kirk aside. A lot of it doesn't make sense. I want to hear from the mother and the father. They need to get on the stand. I want to hear them talk about turning their poor son in. I want to see Tyler's reaction. I want to hear how Tyler planned it, what he did, where he was at. how he was traveling, how we got there. Please don't tell me he just walked several miles and then ran through a field and dumped the gun. Come on, man. Come on. Shout out to Jacqueline again. Oh my goodness, going crazy with the 5-bomb. Thank you, Jacqueline. Said even if they were told to not speak to the media, find me any parent that wouldn't be on the news 24/7 if they didn't really turn their kid in. Here's what I have to say about that. With the involvement of this case, especially with the feds being involved and the type of investigation this is, I don't know that I'd be saying anything, to be honest. Like this is something where you just put your hands up, you say, hey, we'll talk about it once the verdict is read. I'm going to let the attorneys do their job for my son. I'm going to let the FBI and the state of Utah do their job. Hopefully the jury sees it the way they're supposed to see it, and we'll talk about it after. But man, I don't know that it would be wise for them to be speaking out about it. I mean, there's already enough embarrassment. They find out, I mean, their son's business is all out there. I'm sure his family's reputation in that, can you imagine his family's reputation in that town? In the state of Utah? I mean, that's tough. That's super tough. And I'm sure Kash Patel and the FBI said, hey, like, let's stay away from the media because we don't want to get stories mixed up. We don't want to taint the jury pool. I know things are weird right now. Yeah, Amy says, shout out to chat. Welcome to Gold. Oh, Living Story World. Yeah, shout out to, I missed it. Thank you so much. Shout out to Living Story World. Just became a new member. Welcome to the gold side. Make sure you check out the members only content. You'd be surprised, man. You see those black Crown Victorias pull up. I don't know. You might be thinking different. You might be thinking different. I have never liked Charlie, says Living Story Worlds, but I appreciate our First Amendment and I hate the feds slop and gaslighting. There's so much that doesn't make sense. You can't trust an FBI run by QAnon. Oh, we're gonna go there. Dang, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough situation to be in either way. If stuff doesn't make sense, then we're gonna have to ask more questions. And the way Tyler Robinson turned himself in, allegedly, I mean, why wasn't there video of that? Is that really a part of the investigation? If they were to release the video of Tyler Robinson turning in, would that somehow taint the jury pool? Isn't that something that would see him being detained? I mean, come on. Are we going to see the phone calls between his mother and his father and them saying, yo, is that you on the news? Tyler, yeah, that's me. Shout out to my beautiful, awesome, amazing Amy Ian here. Dropping 5 memberships. If you got a membership from Amy, hey, y'all, come on, do the right thing. Make sure you say thank you. Check out the members only content. Like I said, your name's highlighted in green. Get a chance to get access to all the videos we drop here instantly. You don't have to wait. And make sure, if you haven't yet, please go subscribe to Amy's channel. Hit the notification bell over there so you don't miss any time that she goes live or drops a new video. She's got some great, amazing content over there. You could sit and watch it for days. She does an excellent job with that channel. So make sure y'all go over there and show some love as well. Also, she's, man, dropping the cake. Shout out to Amy with the cake, the cakiest cake that ever cake. And she's also reminding me it's time for lunch. I know. We're going to get there. It's almost lunchtime. It's Christmas, so we gotta expedite the show a little bit so y'all can spend some time with your family, and we can over here as well. Thank you, Amy, for the love. Y'all give it up for Amy. And she's not gonna drop the link to her channel in the chat, so I'm going to drop it in there, and I'll pin it in the comments as well, so y'all can go subscribe. She's so humble, she won't do it. Thank you, Amy, for the love. Yeah, it's there's nothing that would stop me, says Jacqueline. Yeah, I feel you. I just think there's a lot at stake here. There's a lot at stake when you talk about the FBI, when you talk about your reputation. I mean, can you imagine if right away they had come out and started speaking about Tyler Robinson and his innocence, and then more information started to drop, and more information started to drop, and more information about Tyler Robinson and his relationship with his roommate? They're probably just embarrassed for the most part, and they just want this to go away. It's not going to go away for the rest of for their entire family tree, probably. I mean, this is a Lee Harvey Oswald type situation. There was a lot of evidence on Brian Kohberger that came out in court. Only car info was given at the time of the crime. DP cases are very different with what evidence is given before trial. Yeah. I mean, all the video from the hospital's gone. All the video from when Tyler Robinson allegedly turned himself in. I mean, are we going to hear that phone call? Are we going to see him talking to the police when they responded? Here's the interesting thing. Here's the thing I'll be interested to see. According to the police with Tyler Robinson, and I wasn't planning on talking about this, but we're going to talk about it. With Tyler Robinson, according to the police, they didn't even know what was going on at the time. They had no idea. And then Tyler Robinson's like, hey, calls and says, hey, I want to turn myself in. You guys don't shoot me. And they're like, huh? What? Turn yourself in for what? What happened? Oh, yeah, this and this and this. Oh, okay. Come on, turn yourself in. And they went and got him. He showed up. He said, hey, please just don't shoot me. Don't kill me. I think they're going to kill me. And now we're here. So you think they would have documented most, if not all of that? Will we get to see it at trial? I hope. Oh, now y'all are saying because Charlie Kirk wasn't shot. Oh man, here we go. Oh gosh, we're not going to do that today. We will at some point, but not today. All right, let's get into this case. So let me double check and make sure we're good, because I know a lot of y'all probably haven't heard about this, and it definitely hasn't been talked about for a while. If you remember the name Robert Aaron Long, then you're either in Atlanta, right here in Fulton County with us, or you just remember when that situation went down several years ago. This man, Robert Aaron Long, was the one who was called the Atlanta spa shooter. Basically, he went into a spa that was owned by a certain type of people. It was alleged to be a racial or a hate crime. He went in there, shot the place up. Several people died. And then he was found guilty, pled guilty actually, to the murders. Now he's in prison. Fulton County says they're not done with him though, because Fannie Willis is actually trying to get the death penalty for this man. Right now, I think he was sentenced to life. We're going to check into and get an update on that. Fannie Willis is now saying that I don't think that's good enough. We want this man to get the death penalty. What we're going to do, I'll give you guys a little bit of background from Atlanta news first. We'll hear what happened with this story, and then we'll get into the recent hearing to where this was talked about. We're going to see Judge Glanville again as well. Here we go.
Shootings are on the front page of news outlets around the world tonight as investigators dig into why someone would do this.
The suspect again, Robert Aaron Long. He faces a judge at noon tomorrow, answering multiple murder and assault charges, confessing to police. His motivation, he said, was, quote, addiction to sex. CBS 46's Adam Murphy digging into Long's past.
So Casey.
What do we know, Adam? Who is Robert Long?
Well, good evening, Rick. I know it may be hard to believe, but a lot of people here in the community where his parents live referred to him as a good guy in this community. I know that comes as a bit of a surprise for some based on what we have been hearing, but at this point in time, no one in this community wanted to talk about it on the record. They said out of respect for his family and the victims.
To my opinion, that he was acting alone. There's no indication that anyone was working with him.
24 hours after the massage parlor murders occurred, no one answered the door at the suspect's last known address in Woodstock. Neighbors said the parents of 21-year-old Robert Long live here and are well liked in the community. One neighbor referred to the entire family as good Christians who are very involved with their church.
He made indicators that he has some issues, potentially sexual addiction, and may have frequented some of these places in the past.
The deadly shooting spree stunned the entire community. Long is reportedly a 2017 graduate of Sequoia High School, and he had religious roots, attending Crabapple First Baptist Church. Elders of the church released this statement saying, quote, "We are grieved to hear the tragic news about the multiple deaths in the Atlanta area. We are heartbroken for all involved. We grieve for the victims and their families, and we continue to pray for them. Moreover, we are distraught for the Long family and continue to pray for them as well." It turns out Robert's parents actually assisted police in apprehending their son.
I'm really appreciative of the family. Without them, this would not have happened as quickly as it happened. They were very supportive, and certainly this was difficult for them.
Can y'all imagine turning in your own kid? That's crazy.
And a neighbor I spoke with who lives across the street from the suspect's family said she feels really bad for the suspect's parents, said they are good people. And she even gave an example saying that after a storm that happened in this community recently, the family came over and offered to remove a tree that had fallen down. Tough time for everyone involved. Live in Woodstock, Adam Murphy, CBS 46 News.
Okay, so that's the story on what happened with this man. So now we fast forward and we find out Fannie Willis wants to get the death penalty for this guy. He's 22.
Attorney now signaling she wants to seek the death penalty in the case against the man accused of killing 8 people in the Metro Atlanta spa shootings.
11 Alive's Latasha Givens joins us live from the Fulton County Courthouse. Latasha, we are expecting to hear directly from the district attorney within the next hour.
That's right, Cheryl and Aisha. That should happen in about 40 minutes or so. Robert Aaron Long was already indicted in Cherokee County for the spa shootings there. But today, a Fulton County grand jury handed down its indictment for the shootings here. In addition to that, District Attorney Fannie Willis plans to seek the death penalty and include a hate crimes charge. Here's more about what's in the indictment.
She should.
The Fulton County indictment handed down Tuesday shows Robert Aaron Long is facing 4 counts of murder, 4 counts of felony murder, 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, domestic terrorism, and other charges. These charges only apply to the 4 victims at the 2 Atlanta spas, with Long facing separate charges in Cherokee County for the other victims killed and injured the same day near Woodstock. This is one of the first big cases Fulton DA Fannie Willis is handling since taking office. During a campaign forum last year, she said she would refuse to seek the death penalty as DA. But in her filing notice for the spa shootings, she says she will seek the death penalty against Long. Willis also says she intends to seek hate crimes charges, which carry an additional penalty. And again, we expect to hear directly from the district attorney in about 40 minutes at a press conference. We will carry that live and bring you another report on any new information about this case.
All right, so then we've got this article that just came out. There was supposed to be a hearing that got moved, and we're actually going to fast forward and listen to a hearing that took place from Judge Glanville. But the pretrial review hearing that was scheduled for this week in Fulton County death penalty case for 2021 Atlanta spa shooter was moved. Robert Aaron Long has pleaded guilty in Cherokee County to killing 4 of the victims in the 2021 shooting. So sad. That spanned 3 spas in Cherokee County and in Atlanta. Now, in Atlanta, a pretrial review hearing that was to take place across Tuesday and Wednesday in the death penalty case against Robert Aaron Long, the convicted shooter in the 2021 Metro Atlanta spa shootings, has been moved back. Court officials acknowledged Tuesday they originally scheduled the hearing and has been continued or postponed with no new dates for it set. Long has previously pleaded guilty to killing 4 victims in Cherokee County at Young Asians Massage Parlor, which was the first shooting. The next 2 shootings happened at the Gold Spa located on Piedmont Road in Midtown, where 3 people were killed, and then across the street where 1 person was left dead at an aromatherapy spa. Long is serving life in prison over the Cherokee County conviction, but continues to face a case in Atlanta where Fannie Willis is seeking the death penalty. I think she should. Long faces 19 charges total, including felony murder, domestic terrorism in Fulton County. And Fannie Willis, as we heard, she wants to upgrade it to a hate crime. There remains no set trial date in this case. A pretrial review hearing would have moved closer to that process, though it's now unclear when that may occur. And we'll keep up to date on that, so y'all don't worry. His attorneys on Monday filed 2 motions, one challenging Georgia's domestic terrorism law as unconstitutional, and one that seeks to suppress all evidence obtained in the course of any illegal search and seizure. Let's hope they don't Fulton County doesn't mess this one up, including those items recovered from his home, his car, and his person, or from electronic devices that belong to him. Long was last in court in September for a full week, during which several motions, including some challenging Georgia's lethal injection statute and execution process, were argued. It does not appear orders have been issued on those motions as of yet. This week, prosecutors filed a memorandum with a list of motions and orders in this case to this point, including 3 orders granting defense ex parte motions that were filed under seal on December 3rd. Let's hear from Judge Glanville, see what he had to say.
Back inside a Fulton County courtroom, what his attorneys are asking for. And that is where we begin today on 11 Alive News at 4. A high-profile death penalty case in Fulton County is just about to begin. Robert Aaron Long is accused in the 2021 spa shootings that killed 8 people in Cherokee County and Atlanta. He's currently serving life behind bars for the murders in Cherokee County.
That's right. And the Fulton County District Attorney's Office is now seeking the death penalty for the others. 11 Alive's Marissa Sarback joining us live from the Fulton County Court. Marissa, we're at pretrial hearings. They are set to begin this week.
Yeah, Faith, Cheryl, the defense has filed quite a few motions in this case, and the judge is set to hear all of them by the end of the week. Now, the majority of time in court today was spent on whether or not the media can actually cover this trial before and during. Now, the defense is arguing that any media coverage could actually taint the jury pool, especially in such a high-profile case.
Both meta-analyses found that it biases jurors' decisions, and if jurors are exposed to anti-defendant pretrial publicity, they're more likely to find the defendant guilty than someone who's not.
Christine Ruva, an expert witness in psychology for the defense, argued hearing highly emotional language or seeing highly emotional images could impact a trial's verdict, and has done so in her research and other research, no matter how long it's been since the incident in question.
Something could be factual, but it could also create emotional responses.
In March 2021, Robert Aaron Long was accused of shooting up 3 different massage parlors across Atlanta Metro and killing 8 people. He's currently serving life in prison after pleading guilty to killing 4 people in Cherokee County. DA Fannie Willis is seeking the death penalty for the murders Long is charged with in Fulton County. Most of the victims were Asian Americans. The prosecution argues the coverage in the news is simply the facts of the case.
Reporting that Asian females were murdered is an actual fact that occurred on March 16th.
Correct.
And that's what the publicity is reporting in many instances, correct? That Asian females were killed.
But it's more than that. It's getting the response of the community and individuals, having the president and vice president come in and give their opinions. And so it's more than that. So there is some of that, and those are the facts that Asian American women were killed, but there's a whole bunch more that's being presented.
The judge says he needs to weigh the transparency of an open court versus the integrity of the trial in this case, and he says he'll have an answer for us on Thursday. Reporting live outside Fulton County Court tonight, Marissa Sarback, 11 Alive News.
All right, so we'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on with this one. It'll be interesting to see how the DA's office moves forward with this, because the defense is pushing back and trying to find every little thing they can to make sure this man doesn't get the death penalty. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments and in the chat. Wow. Sad story, man. It's crazy to think 5 years later, this guy is still going back and forth in court. It's weird, man. Court systems are messed up. Courts just need to find fine to embrace new media influence because it's not going anywhere. Well, I don't know, man. A lot of these judges cannot stand people being in the courtroom and filming in the courtroom. Oh, wait, this video only benefits the prosecution because defense attorneys using the press reveals corruption. That's a fact, too. We need to see how courts are being run. That way we know how to vote. I think it helps. I think it helps everybody. All right, y'all, we're going to get up out of here so y'all can enjoy the rest of your Christmas. Thank you to all 600 plus of you that were in the building today. We'll call it 6,000. We'll speak it into existence. If y'all could, please make sure you like the video on your way out. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time that we go live or drop a new video. We'll be dropping videos throughout the day. Y'all know we don't take any days off here. So we're going to have the content for you. Thank you to everyone who contributed. Shout out to Rhonda over on the Cash App, Mixed Love, Living Story Worlds. Jacqueline was in there. And then, of course, my beautiful, awesome, amazing Amy Ian here. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Merry Christmas to you all. And looking forward to seeing you tomorrow on the live when we'll be covering a lot more content as well. Y'all know what to do. Have a great Merry Christmas. As always, keep growing, keep pushing, keep it classic. We go. Peace.